Hey smart practice owners, I just want to do a quick video on the pros and cons of multi-D versus single D. And so multi-D speaks for itself. You've got multiple disciplines in the one practice, and then single D being that you've just got the single discipline. So there's no right or wrong. I remember for us at Studio XPhys, we started as a single D practice. We started as an exercise physiology clinic, hence the name Studio XPhys. And it was great, but it didn't take us long to end up going down the path of multi-D. It was because we had lots of people coming in to see an exercise physiologist, and as you know, exercise physiology is more about chronic conditions, and so people were coming in, in need of an exercise physiologist. But what we found was that people needed additional care, and we were referring out a lot, and so we would have to refer out to a physio, we would have to refer out to a podiatrist, if our exercise physiologist couldn't service the needs of that client. And so we thought to ourselves, well, why don't we broaden our horizons and service our clients in-house rather than always externally referring out. And so it didn't take us long that we thought, okay, so exercise physiology and physiotherapy complement each other really well. And we had people coming in for acute injuries. And as you know, exercise physiology is more about the chronic long-term conditions, anything more than 6 months, and people were coming in, really in need of a physiotherapist for more of an acute injury. And so we went down the path of bringing in our first physio, and basically it organically grew based on what our clients' needs were. And so beyond that, it became people were coming in for more lower limb injuries, and we thought, why not bring in a podiatrist? And then people started asking about massage. And then people started asking about hydrotherapy, and we thought, why don't we start that? And so really, for us, it was quite an organic process. But there's some clinics out there, clients of mine that have multi-D practices, and some have just this single discipline. And I want to talk today about both. So the pros of multi-D is that when you formulate a treatment plan with a client, having everything under the one roof, you get to create and customize pathways for the treatment of that client. And now, not everyone resonates with the same pathway. And if you just single D, you're very limited on how to speed up the process, because really the only option is to continue to come into the consult room once or twice a week and then make sure that they're following their at-home exercise prescription. Where if you've got different pathways in the clinic, like strength training, a gym, hydrotherapy, reformer Pilates, whatever that might be, then you can actually tailor their treatment plan for them to do their exercise or their rehab or their strengthening or their maintenance in-house, and you're not actually having to consistently rely on them having to fulfill the requirements of their exercises, which we know 90% of people don't do anyway. And so that's a real pro on being multi-D, is pathways within the treatment journey. The second thing is being a lot more attractive to doctors. Doctors love clinics with the ability for them to be able to refer to everything under the one roof. It's annoying for them to have to write referrals to here, there, and everywhere. And it's much more attractive as you going in as the person that's asking them or requesting from them referrals when you've just got the single discipline, because they have to do one for there, two for over there, whatever that may, if it's from an EPC front. And so really a lot more attractive to GPs being multi-D. The other thing, it's being multi-D, you're a lot more attractive in your recruitment process for potential practitioners coming in and working for you, because health professionals love understanding and learning and digesting about what other health professionals do, what they're about, how they help, what their angle is. And really, when you've got an environment where people can learn from and refer to each other and sit in on consults, it's really a lot more attractive when you're trying to recruit a health professional into your business as well. So that's the pros. There are a few cons on being multi-D. The number one con on multi-D is marketing is a lot harder and a lot more expensive, because you're having to build your marketing out for lots of different modalities. So you have to have a marketing campaign for podiatry, marketing campaign for physio, marketing campaign for EP, marketing campaign for massage, and all the lower tier modalities as well. So it becomes a lot harder from maybe a Facebook standpoint, Google Ads standpoint. You think about your website. You don't just have to have one page explaining the service and what you do. You've got to have, 12 pages of different things that you do as a business. So marketing becomes harder and more expensive. A big pro on being single D is really one focus, and having one focus means that you can just focus on that main thing and really nail the niche. And when you can nail the niche, you build a reputation in the industry for being the go-to place for that thing, which makes it really easy to, be recommended for that specific thing when you've just got that number one focus. And like I said before, marketing becomes a whole lot easier as well. Spoke about before, the cons of single D is the limitations and pathways, so not having the availability to actually create a pathway. It's generally, if it's just a physio practice or a podiatry practice or massage practice, it's one way, and you have to refer out for everything else. And so that's the next point, is you always have to refer out rather than referring in. And like any good business, it's really good practice to be able to help people in-house rather than obviously referring out and giving your business to other people out there. That's always a good thing to do, but that's the limitation and a bit of a con in being single D. So I hope that helps. Really today was about talking through the pros and cons of being multi-D versus single D. And like I talked about, the pros of multi-D is pathways, more attractive to GPs, and attraction when your recruitment process for practitioners. The cons is marketing's harder, more expensive, big funnels, Google Ads, website, you've got to consider those factors. The pros of single D is one focus, easy niche. You've got the recruitment process where you're targeted at one modality and that's it. You can specialize, and it's so much easier to build a reputation for being the go-to place for that number one thing. And the cons of being single D, limited pathways. It's really hard to build your treatment plans out, offering different ways that people can resonate with. And also you tend to be referring out a lot, which is also not great when you could potentially have them being all in-house. So I hope that helps. Just wanted to give you guys a quick line and talk about the pros and cons of single D versus multi-D. I hope that helps. Have a great day. Cheers. Bye.